Let me see your notebook. Now it's got me curious. What is in this orange notebook?
Oh, just different things I've kept, like from the past couple shows.
Now, Dave, come on in here. You had a job to do, which was to keep papers out of Fez's hands, right?
Yes.
Remember when Fez used to have too many papers and he got combobulated? I'm going to use the word combobulated with it.
It works for me.
So I used to have to make you come in and take the papers away.
Yeah.
When did the I'm going to hide my papers in a notebook system come up?
I think that's been a recent thing.
And is that to keep you from seeing them and feeling free to grab them?
It's probably, he can now stash them in one item rather than having...
I don't think this is helping you with your OCD-ness.
Right.
I think you're now hiding the fact that you can't throw a paper away.
I am such a pat rack. I just feel like I need to keep everything.
Yet it never helps you, because we would always see you get into the I'm overwhelmed with papers.
Right, I know I have that here somewhere.
And now you have a book of papers that really don't mean anything.
Right. Yeah, I should get rid of it.
Give it to Dave.
I don't want to.
Tony, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a recollection when I was a kid. My mom used to have to come home with our textbooks from school, and money was tight and understandable. And when you're a kid, you always want like the superhero book jackets. I used to have to get the A&P, the hard bags used to pack the groceries in the 70s.
Yeah, you try not to put the word A&P on the front or anything, though, right?
And she always used to do it, and I used to be like, I used to get hit with paper for that.
But then you would write a magic marker like English. But that was all when you were a little kid. I don't remember doing that in high school.
Well, when we were up to 8th grade, it would become unfashionable to actually have the superhero stuff. Like, if you came into school with the superhero shit, you would get beat up. So it was cool to do the A&P bag.
I remember 3rd grade was the cutoff grade that you were allowed to have a lunchbox at my school. Any fucking 1st and 2nd, go ahead, carry a lunchbox to your life's thing. 3rd grade, you're already an adult. If you're using a pen, not a big pencil, and you better have a fucking brown bag. Anyone carrying a lunchbox. Maybe a girl could get away with a little plaid one, but a boy could not come walking in there with a lunchbox.
My mom used to put our lunch in Ziploc bags, which was really...
Like Coke?
embarrassing.
Just see through lunch bags?
How's your Twinkies and your yogurt doing? Okay, you can see through what I have to eat.
Did your mom ever give you a lunch bag that was too big, though? And it would be like just this giant bag with a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the bottom.
That was the absolute worst, because you would just look like you were taking a monster lunch to school.
And again, when they started protecting kids from other kids, it's when things in this country started to get a little more pussified. I'm walking down the street today. I see a guy in a business suit with a fucking backpack. And I'm like, you're like a large 3-year-old. You do not look like a man who... You don't see Donald Trump with a fucking backpack. You are not a man on the fast track when you got a backpack for yourself.
Yeah, I have to get rid of my backpack, too.
Chris, you're on Run and Fez.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Fez what a pat rack was.
I think he meant pack rat.
Yeah, I said it backwards.
866 Ron Zero Fez. That should be in your notebooks. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Rob, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey guys, long time listener. Hey Fez, did you ever do this with your textbook covers? I would change the Sunday comics, all 6 of my textbooks, every effing week. I would update it and change it. And
so
then
you could sit and read the comics while you were in school?
All day long. That was when comics were good. But I had 7
Wouldn't
or
it
8...
get boring by Tuesday?
Fez, what were yours? Nancy Drew's?
No, our school had some sort of sponsored book covers. There were these kind of plastic sheets of paper that some local business sponsored, and they would hand out a stack of them to you.
Would it have the name of the school in the front?
It would have the name of the school and whatever business was on there. So I would do that, or the brown paper bag ones. I would do that.
Why don't you start putting book covers on your stuff here?
I should do that, just in a little style. This was embarrassing. This happened one year. It didn't last long. Mother wrapped my textbooks in Christmas wrapping paper. And it was so flimsy that it ripped immediately, and I was being made so much fun of that I actually started tearing it to say, hey, I need new covers on here. I can't go with the Christmas wrap.
Tommy, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, Tappy.
Hey.
I was just, I remember when I was in grade school, it was always, I always get made fun of because we were poor and I had to get the free lunch, and then finally we could afford, I could bring my lunch, and then by then it was too late and I got made fun of for bringing my lunch.
Yeah, you can only bring your lunch to a certain point, and
I missed the window.
You don't carry in it's a very narrow window. You don't carry your lunch in fucking high school either. You either eat junk or eat the pizza day. I had to do some report on our cafeteria thing. So when I was in school, I go to the cafeteria lady. I'm asking her why the fucking food is so bad, blah, blah, blah. She goes through this gimmick. Something like 73% of the kids who went to my school either got free lunch or some fucking half-off deal. So she's like, there's no fucking money coming into this. You're lucky anybody's eating anything.
I remember in middle school when we had the lunch tickets for the hot lunch, the kids that were getting free lunch had a different colored ticket than anyone who was just buying regular lunch tickets. They were going out of their way to single out the poor kids.
How are you getting? So why act like it's an awful thing to be getting a free lunch? Why not act like it's wonderful?
Well, it's a good thing to help the kid out, but the kid gets embarrassed about it.
Why should he be embarrassed?
Because he's getting a handout lunch.
What's the difference? If your dad's paying for it, it's still a handout lunch. It ain't your fucking money, kid. Nobody has a gimmick on where they're born in this world. That's how you scrape yourself up from there, you pricks. Go ahead. Take your blue ticket, go up there and get a free lunch and be proud of it. I think it's because people go, oh, we better hide their tickets. That it becomes a big deal. I think first day, you walk around the class, free lunch, free lunch, free lunch. You're paying, fatso. Free lunch, free lunch. And the kids would be okay with it.
My mom used to make my lunch, even up to high school, I'm embarrassed to say, the night before. And so, because she knew that if I was going to make my lunch, I would be late for high school, so she would make my lunch at 9 o'clock the night before, put it in the fridge there, and I got my little turkey and Hawaiian punch all ready to go.
You got a Hawaiian punch?
Yeah, I was pretty much a toddler in high school, but that was
cool. You're a toddler now.
Yeah.
Here's Joe. Joe, you're on Run Fez.
Yo, buddies.
Yeah.
The cool thing when I was in grammar school, I think up to like third grade you could have the paper fold-up book covers. But after that, you had to get book socks, which were the spandex, wrapping that you put around them.
I never heard of this before, book socks.
I never heard of a book sock.
Sounds like it's after my time. Book sock. Where's your books? It's like a condom for a book. Let me go to Jason. Jason, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ron, you remember I used to have a beef with a kid in school, and you guys met somewhere off the bus stop or out in the field or something?
3 o'clock is where you would yell. You would just yell at someone 3 o'clock, and that meant it's on.
You know, you can't do that no more?
No, you can't fight anymore.
The kids end up, my 13-year-old boy went to jail last week for having a beef with another kid, and they met after the bus stop, and you kick the shit out of each other. The next day I get a phone call, he's downtown.
Yeah, they do that now. They call the police. Well, first of all, I don't even remember the police being allowed in the schools when we were younger. Now the cops come straight into the schools.
Usually there's an assigned campus cop, one that's like living on the quarters.
He lives there, huh?
Yeah.
I doubt very much if a cop is living in the school. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Let me go to Mike. Mike, you're on Ron Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, in grade school, we figured out that if you use the brown paper bags to cover your books, you could stash a whole comic book under the flap, under the front cover of your textbook. And we all got busted because one week we all came in with all these brand new brown paper covers on our books, and, of course, the nuns shook the book, and there it is.
Yeah, I like right away when you're like little and they treat anything like it's drugs. It adds so much excitement. If they treat a yo-yo like it's drugs, where you gotta hide it, and you're fucking having somebody mule your fucking toys for you, it's the best feeling in the world.
I remember with the textbooks, when they handed them out at the beginning of the semester, the textbook would have a letter grade with it. If you were getting a brand new textbook, it had an A. It was in A condition, and you had to bring it back that same way. You really wanted a C or a D textbook that already had some writing in it.
First of all, first day of school, I'm writing lick my balls in every fucking book I can find, mine or other people.
The weird thing about covering your textbooks is the covers are the most durable part of the book. Like, why would
they should cover the pages?
Yeah, cover the pages with see-through spandex.
Well, first of all, you don't even need a book anymore. The whole thing should be online for kids now. And really, should a kid even show up at school? Just sit there at the computer for 8 hours, because that's what you're going to have to do in your job anyway. Kurt, you're on Fez.
Yeah, I hated those kids who brought their Coke cans in aluminum foil for lunch, thinking it was going to keep warm for like 4 or 5 hours before lunch. I hated those kids.
Earl, guys in your neighborhood drink a beer with a fucking aluminum foil around it, don't they?
Yeah, it helps keep it cold, doesn't it?
Stop your hands so fast to a residential district!
And they used to do that in high school, too. They would pour whatever drink they were into, like an empty soda bottle.
Yeah.
And they would do that also, just to keep things interesting.
Don, you're on Fez.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, buddies?
Yeah.
Friday afternoons, it was cat fights, man. It was guaranteed every week at the bus stop. I loved it. Everybody would gather to watch the chicks fight. We just dug it.
Nothing like a chick fighting. Nothing like the fucking girl fight. I saw a fucking girl fight one time come close to almost being a circle jerk. Guys were just fucking on top of them, just freaking out in excitement.
We were so evil. Like in 6th grade, we took 2 of the class spazzes, this kid Rob and Rich, and we set up like a 6th grade fight club. Every recess, these 2 kids had to fight just for our
You push them into each other. You push them into each other.
But no, they would actually throw roundhouse punches, like in a spasmodic, freakish way. And we probably terrorized their whole lives.
So, yeah, any kind of, if you got a retarded kid and you do that, I want to send him to regular school, why fucking torture him? Why fucking send him to this place? You might as well be sending him to a Turkish prison, the way he's going to be treated by the other kids. Now, I know we live in a world where that kid should be able to go there, and no one's going to bother them, but there is nothing as dark and as evil as a 13-year-old boy's heart. It's just worse than a Nazi.
It's sinister. I threw an apple at my Spanish teacher when I was 13.
Junior high boys are Nazis without the organization. And that's why you shouldn't even teach them about World War II. Fucking just go, World War II, some shit happened, get out there. Because little boys get so caught up in the Nazi style that it's unbelievable. That Art Deco look that they have that's so fantastic. That's all they want to do at that age. Here's Jesse. You're on Fez.
Hey, what's up, guys? You remember the guy in high school that used to bum a quarter, and by the time he was done with all the tables, he had a sweet lunch and still had like $6 in his pocket?
Right. Why wasn't that kid embarrassed, Fez? The kid who went around bumming fucking money.
He had already gotten past all of it.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what you need to do with these kids, instead of acting like free lunch is a problem. If you're on free lunch, you get a nice put a fucking tattoo of the kid, and it just says free lunch across his forehead. I don't see the problem with it. Sherry, you're on Fez.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, I was horribly teased when I was in school. I went to Catholic school, and I had to work after school mopping floors and sweeping in order to pay my own tuition.
Did you do it in a little Catholic school outfit?
Yeah.
That fucking Catholic Cinderella act must have been great.
Oh, yeah. I was hot doing it. But the fact that I had to do it was horrible.
Yeah, but aren't you a better person for it?
No.
You fucking realize that you and your family didn't come from shit. So go ahead, get in there and scrub the floor for the rich kids. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it gives you that pretty in pink fucking gimmick that's going for you.
You think so? I never ever got to hook up with the hot, football player guy though. That never happened.
Why don't you go blow one of the black kids? He was always looking for something.
Are you kidding me? There were no black kids.
This was a Catholic school.
Yeah, there was always 2 black kids in every Catholic school. They always had 2.
Well, you did need one for our basketball team.
That's right, and they would go out and dominate. They would dominate. It was just fucking so embarrassing. You're like, 100% of black kids can play.
We had in our Catholic high school, Mike Sullivan, Bobby O'Hurley, and Daryl Diggs playing starting forward. And he was awesome.
Scoring 33, pulling down 10 rebounds. Kids just dominating. All right, Sherry.
All right, well, I should also mention I'm in South Dakota. Trust me, there were no black kids.
All right, well, go scrub the floor, honey.
I will.
Yeah, then she goes back for like reunion. Oh yeah, you're the girl that used to scrub the floor for us. How you doing?
Someone spilling the punch. Can you get that, Sherry?
Exactly. Still.
All right, peace out, honey. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Doug, you're on the air. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, guys? I'm from a small town in northern Jersey called Midland Park, and we didn't have any brothers in our high school at all, okay? But we did have a hearing impaired program where they would actually bus the brothers from New York City over to our high school every day. So I didn't even know black guys could hear until I was 19. We had nothing. All we heard was hearing aids going off from these guys, and they would just sit in class and they would try to talk. And that's all I thought black guys could do until I was 19. That's not teaching me anything.
I hate black people. They're so deaf. All right, talk to you later, Doug. 866 Run Zero Fez. 866 Run Zero Fez. Earl, did you have any white kids in your school?
Yes, in elementary school. I was a second-generation busing student for elementary school.
So your parents were bussed?
No, actually, my older sisters who
That's
were
the
like
same generation as you. You fucking idiot.
No, but my oldest sister, she's like 15 years older than I am. 12 years
the same
older.
generation.
Oh, okay. But so yeah, I was like we were like the section of like the only black kids in this predominantly Jewish school. So we were kind of like the cool kids who could play ball.
Yeah, sure. What is school? Blacks and Jews. There's
cool.
the fucking cool kids.
Yeah, but like my brother was worshipped because he was like the best at everything athletically, best basketball player, best baseball player.
Are you sure it wasn't you, Tyler Durden? You only think you had a black brother.
No, I have an older brother.
Why couldn't you play at all?
I could play.
Were you still playing co-ed like you are now?
No, I was not playing co-ed then, but it was just a whole different experience because we were like funk and hip hop guys, and here were the rock guys.
Eric, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, talking about fighting in school, when I was in 7th grade and I was 13, I got into a fight with a kid, and I happened to get him in a wrestling hold, and I started choking him. It took 5 people to pull me off him. I put him unconscious. He ended up spending like 2 months in the hospital in a coma, and he was gone for the rest of the year. And it was so fun. And, well, at the time, to me, it was scary. Now that I look back on it, it was kind of funny because like half the police department showed up. They hauled me off. And 2 days later, I was back in school, and everybody was like, "Oh, man, you almost killed that kid, man. He's in the hospital, man. You are so cool." And I'm like, well, don't piss me off.
Yeah, now you would be fucking gone from the school. You would be gone. Probably from the state. Believe me, it's nothing surprising to me about these Colorado kids acting like this with each other. I don't know what the fuck happens out there. I don't know whether they're too high in the sky, but they go off.
They were just mercilessly teased, I guess, till they finally went quite insane.
866 Run Zero Fez. 866 Run Zero Fez. I don't know what you meant, but I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Yes, Earl.
And whatever happened to that kind of a code where you would have a fight, and once the fight happened, it ended it, and that settled it.
Well, that would become your best friend, the guy that you just fought with. First, you would have that fight with the kid. After the fight, you're both down to the principal's office. Then the next day, he's your best buddy. You guys are fucking tighter than hell. I don't know why that would always happen back then.
In addition to fights, my friends and I set up a boxing arena in my friend's garage. So that was like the huge thing. It was Friday night boxing, and any rivals come and throw gloves, and we videotaped it all until my mom found the videotape,
and so that your kids were blowing each other and rim jobs and reach arounds. It's fucking disgusting. Here's Brandon. You're on Run Fez.
Hey, what's going on, buddies?
Yeah.
Beautiful show. I was just listening. A thing that I remember from middle school was my cousin. He lived with his grandfather, and his grandfather used to have a bunch of dirty magazines all over the place. And what he would do, he would cut a bunch of pictures out the dirty magazines, and then we'd go to the library, and he'd just stick them in random books. And we'd sit back and just wait for somebody to find a book and find one that was in there. And one time we saw somebody pull a book off the shelf and look in it, and it was like they had just hit the fucking jackpot. It was awesome.
This kid in, I think it was 7th grade, in the Catholic school, goes into the church, puts a big split beef picture up, fucking tapes it up next to the Jesus crucifix.
Oh.
He found himself in public school. They fucking dropped him all the way to public school.
That would be horrifying.
There was something when you're like elementary school, 6th, 7th grade. You get that dirty magazine. It's the holy grail. You and your friends will start a club based around that magazine. You will build a fort out in the woods as just a place to hide and keep these magazines. You become obsessed at that age.
And you would just be insane about how did that one kid get it? How in the world did he win that lottery and pick up a dirty magazine?
His father's filthy. That's the beauty of it. You have to have one guy that is in the neighborhood is filthy.
And thus, it was always like the cool uncle who was like, he never married. Like when my
That's a kid toucher. Think about it.
No,
cool uncle who wants to show you something hard on pictures.
No, but we always had the one kid who was like, yeah, I stole this from my uncle's stash.
Yeah,
or
you
whatever.
had to steal. What about you, Dave? Same thing?
Yeah, we passed around a copy of Swank.
Oh, God.
With like 4 of us when we were 13. Just like, hey, man, you're taking too long with the Swank this week. Your time's up. Let's go.
I remember, being like 9, 10, and the whole thing is like cool/gross for you, And there was this thing of a guy sucking tit. I'm like, thinking in my mind, so that's fucking. I've got it now. He's fucking her, right? So I'm sitting around thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? I think I can do it. I think I'm going to be A-okay as an adult. I'll be able to fuck her, suck on that tit, and I'll be a man. About a week or 2 later, next fucking mag comes in. I see a fucking bone, banging his chick from behind. And I remember, and you don't want to give this away in front of your friends, but I remember in my head thinking, what the fuck? Oh my God. Our adult's so fucking gross. I'm going to have to stick my dick in there? This is ridiculous. But I'm going, hey, great.
Sometimes you don't even know, what body parts are matching up.
No,
There's
yeah.
a close-up, and you're like, is that a fucking elbow? I don't get what's going on here.
No, that's a hip.
And there's no, and it is the way, they're acting like, well, keep this away from kids. Kids will fucking find it. I mean, we didn't have the internet then. We fucking found it,
Yeah.
Kids are going to be after it. And all you want to do is keep them as confused as you possibly can.
We had a pharmacy. We had a freaking main our pharmacy sold porn in the back thing. So it was pretty simple. We had 3 guys do a little distraction time, and one guy, like a cat burglar, take the magazine, steal it, and then we're good.
That was another thing. You would base your entire gang around stealing. You're going to steal something if you want to start hanging here. What have you stole? None of us fucking needed to steal a goddamn thing. Love to steal. Goose, you're on the Run of Fez show.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, buddy.
I went to an all-male Catholic high school in Brooklyn, and I came out of the closet when I was a sophomore year. But I played ice hockey. I played, I was pitcher for the baseball team, and everybody loved me no matter what I was. They're like, yeah, man, that's still Goose. Who cares? Who cares if he's gay or not, though? And no, we used to do some shady things, in high school, like, grab beers and bring them into the school. And this is Catholic high school too, though. Bring them down there by the lockers and start, boozing up and all that, though. And they'd be like, I didn't know gay people drink. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you fucking retard.
I didn't know gay people drank. So your thing was because you were fucking comfortable with it.
Yeah, they appreciated that, and they, honesty and all that, though. So they thought I was an honest enough person, and this is a really strict Jesuit Catholic high school in Brooklyn. So
yeah.
I mean, and they still love me for it, though. So.
All right, Goose. Thanks, buddy. Here is Ron. Ron, you're on Run of Fez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ron.
Yeah, what can I do for you, buddy?
No, I've been on hold, man. I was just wanted to call about this guy I used to know in high school, Jimmy.
All right, why don't you give him a call? Both of you get back together about the fucking old days, all right?
What are you talking about, man? I thought I had something interesting to bring to the table.
I think you would have done it by now, wouldn't you?
Well, anyway, Jimmy was a little badass in high school, and every morning he used to fuck with this one fat chick, Jen. He'd be screaming at her, dangling Twinkies in front of her face.
Yeah, it sounds really fucking cool. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you?
Hey, Ron, I got to correct you on something you said there to Earl.
Yeah.
Technically, in black families, 15 years is a generation.
Thank you. Doing a little fucking gimmick on you. It's doing a little gimmick on you.
Ass.
Turtle, you're on the air. How you doing, pal?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good.
My son is black, and he's in kindergarten. He's the only black kid in his Catholic high school in the city of in Iowa.
Uh-huh.
And the other kids, when he first went there, he stuck out like
a
raisin
black
in
kid.
a bowl of rice.
Yeah.
He's a black kid. And second grader gets in his face at recess 2-3 days into the school year and starts barking at him. And Kenny goes off and he punches him right in the mouth, knocks out a tooth. And he's in kindergarten. And this is his first impulse is to start throwing hands at people.
There's only one way to settle this violence. There's nothing else. So how did the school deal with him?
Well, the teacher saw him, saw the other kid barking at him and getting in his face, and they're like, well, he was defending himself. But I was stunned because when I was in kindergarten, I never would have thought about hitting a second grader. And there was no hesitation with this, apparently. He just hauled off right in the mouth.
I like his attitude.
He's going to be king. Kindergarten to second grade? That's a that's
that is
huge.
big. When you beat up anybody, even one grade older, you become a fucking legend in your class.
Well, that's it too. We're getting calls from all the parents now. Hey, so and so wants to have a play date with Kenny, and bring him over. And he's on the soccer team, and he's playing football, flag football, and all this. And all the kids are circling around him all the time, constantly. It's like he's taking over.
Kenny offers you his protection.
Yeah, C-Fez, you need to step up too, there, buddy.
All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez.
He wants Fez to punch someone?
I don't know what it means.
Punch a second?
I didn't know either.
I don't know what it means.
We had one black student when I went to parochial school, to Lutheran school. We had one black student, a black girl.
What kind of school do you call it?
Parochial.
Okay.
And my mom tried to stop her from joining the school. And put up this big thing about how it would be so bad for her. She would feel so out of place. And it would be a bad experience for her. She tried to put up this whole facade, now that I look back on it, of how she was trying to help the little girl out.
Look at this. Football fathers at the game getting involved in the field, and the fucking cops had to taser the dad. Had to drop him. Earl, by the way, black guy. But had to taser him.
He is down and his feet are just kicking in the air.
This is during a Pee-wee football game, which you watched. That whole Pee-wee football, it's on its last legs. Because the flag football thing is becoming bigger and bigger because they don't want the little kids tackling. And look, the guy who saw it was still fighting with the ref after his friend got tasered. He didn't even let that bother him slightly. Here's Charlie. Charlie, you're on Fez.
Hey, buddy!
Yeah.
Calling from San Antonio with a story about hunting down porn as a little kid. It was my grandma's 50th birthday party, and they were doing it up the whole black balloon thing, talking about her getting older. And it seems a little weird now, but my mom, I remember, got my grandma one of those OUI, the French porno mags, and I remember honing in on this thing like a laser. And I noticed that they threw it away at the end of the night. Well, I faked sleepwalking that night and got caught rifling through the kitchen trash.
Sure.
Coffee grounds and everything, trying to get to this porno mag. And I don't remember what cockamamie story I made up.
Well, we was the best, of course, because you could watch one woman pissing on another. They put out. They were never part of that girl next door gimmick that Playboy jumped into. Let me go to John. John, you're on Fez.
Yeah, at one point I was so horny when I was 12, I put myself in my parents' hamper, and turned myself upside down trying to suck my own dick. Has anybody else done that? It was just me.
I think it was just you, buddy. But congratulations.
I never used a hamper, but
did you try though?
Yeah.
Did you get close?
Nope.
Close enough to just jack in your own mouth?
No, and I should have known better. I can't even touch my own toes. I can't. Just don't have the flexibility.
Let me see you try it right now.
Okay.
Give it a try.
And this is for real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
Come on, stretch. You can do it. Never leave yourself wide open like that. Todd, you're on Fez.
Hey, buddies, what's going on?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, when I was in elementary school, my first fight, how the other kids egg you on to get in a fight?
Sure.
Well, I picked a kid with one leg. He had a prosthetic leg. So after school, we go to fight, and that kid kicked the shit out of me with that leg, man. He swung that thing around. He knew how to use it. And I was so embarrassed with the other kids, man.
I didn't fight till probably 8th or ninth grade after that.
It took you 8 years. Because when you have when it's your time where it's like 3 o'clock, you're fighting, you're like a fucking celebrity around school. Everybody's asking you about the fight. Everybody can't wait. Everybody's giving that, I want you to fuck them up. No one ever comes to you and goes, I hope you lose this one. Or maybe you should try to talk your way out of it. Everybody's behind you, 1,000,000%. You start to feel really good about yourself, but still have that fear. You could be fighting a girl at 3 o'clock. There's still a certain amount of fear that's still there because you know it's going to get ugly. And I've seen things shine. It looks like Madison Square Gardens. There would be kids in fucking trees swinging back and forth, the excitement level.
Kids from other schools would show up. It's weird how the word would get around.
We set up a weapons match when we were in 6th grade between these two kids, Brian and Frank, and we made a circle, and every 2 minutes we would throw in like a wiffle ball bat or like a basketball.
This is bullshit.
I swear to God.
Bullshit.
Oh, please, someone call in. Someone who's listening.
You were throwing
Jason,
a basketball and they had to fight with it. That's fucking ECW.
I swear to God.
And remember how the crowd would just completely turn on anyone resembling an adult? They would just
boo him,
they would
try to fucking box him out.
They would completely box him out, try to keep him out from breaking up the fight. It was like this weird
I've
mob.
seen fights where I've seen dads pull over the fucking room and watch. I saw a guy sitting there eating a cheesesteak watching a fight go down for 20 minutes.
And the father's like, you better not get your ass. It's always like his son is like, you better not get your ass kicked. Keep your left up.
Oh, no, they fucking used to hate. Now, I think they would probably lock you up if you told your kid to go back and fight. But all of our parents used to tell us to go back and fight. Fucking stupid, awful people. I remember my mom telling me, I came home crying when I was little. She's like, go back and hit him. I go, what do you think I'm doing? What do you think my goal was? That I didn't have that fucking thing that I should hit? He's hitting me faster. Get my older brother out here. Get Bobby and let's go back and settle this fucking thing. Let's do it the right way. 2-on-1. Let me see. Here's Josh. Josh, you're on Fez.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Yeah.
I just had a little story about the first porno I ever saw. I had this Filipino friend of mine and brought me over to the house. He didn't even tell me he was putting it on. His grandma's sitting on the couch next to us. And they put it in. I remember the name of the movie was Lust in Space. And I was just I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. You know, so excited, just so, you know, all the emotions and everything. And there's his grandma sitting there next to us. It was the most uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, that's, you might have been in some kind of candy porn ring. You're just not even aware of it to this day. You've probably missing memory of this day, even now. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Brian, you're on Fez.
Hey, what's up, fellas? I just wanted to let you know that the summer between 4th and 5th grade, me and my buddies came up with a plan that we would steal our father's nudie magazines, rip out the pages, and then assign them to each other, put them in mason jars, and then bury them in our yard. So if someone got caught, we could always go to another friend's yard and get the
You are insane about porn when you're a little kid. It becomes everything. Did you guys used to build forts in the woods?
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a thing because, you know, when I was a little kid, it was that big suburban rollout where the whole neighborhoods were being built. So there was so many times that we could go out and get fucking shitloads full of lumber, nails. So these forts that we were building in the woods were becoming bigger and longer, 2 fucking floors like a hotel. They looked like shit, but they were gigantic. And everything about that age, it just felt like you had your own world away from everybody else.
With the fort, you would always take something from home that your mom or dad still wanted, and you thought, all right, I can take this to be part of the fort, you know, like a covering or something. Then next thing you know, your mom's going, where's that blanket?
Yeah.
And you have to go out in the woods and get it back.
We went the opposite way. We didn't necessarily make a fort. We dug a giant hole. And we were like, hey.
Underground fort.
You guys going to the hole today? You guys, who's going to the hole? Until the hole got too big that we couldn't get out of it. Like, without usage of a ladder and stuff.
You would dig a hole and sit in it like fucking rats?
You just sit in it, look for worms and shit.
Hey,
it's the hole. It's cool.
Anna, what would you have? Your ECW weapons fight?
That happened. I can get people on the phone with that.
I don't believe you. I don't believe anything that you say. Michael, you're on Fez.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Hey, buddy.
All right. Listen, I grew up in a religious Jewish school, and I mean, just to give you an example of how bad it was, like the main crime in 5th grade was like collecting baseball cards. You couldn't even collect baseball cards.
Yeah,
Anyway,
they'll
what?
always set up some kind of an underground system. They'll tell you what you can have, which means that you want to have it.
Exactly. Anyway, 5th grade, me and a couple guys, we finally get a hold of our first pornos. It's like a set of 3 pornos. Beautiful condition. Everything was perfect. We bring it to school to pass it around, and the rabbi sees something's going on, you know, in the back of the classroom. They got to remember, we're only like 11 years old. He comes over to me. He's like, what do you have in the bag? I'm thinking, oh, man, you get busted with it. That's it. The whole class is watching. You're going down. It's such a big thing. I mean, my adrenaline is pumping. And he goes, in front of the class, he goes, let me check it out. He pulls it over, starts taking out book by book. Meanwhile, I have it in these folders. He puts the folders down with the rest of the books. I mean, for my luck, he found the baseball cards. He took away, like, my whole Met and Yankee team, and I was like, oh, devastated. I was like, holy shit.
No, it's like getting busted with pot when you know you got acid. I am telling you, they set up everything in life. When you're little, you know what the contraband is. You are passing around fucking stickers like later you will fucking coke. They set everything up to make you feel like you have to live this way. It's all like Big Brother. Jerry, you're on Run Fez.
Yo, what's up, guys? I was going to tell you about a teacher aide in high school and her dildo collection, but a more self-deprecating story is going through my father's porn. He had the Playboy collection, and the brown envelope would come in the mail every month, and I couldn't wait for it to get there. And trying to get it undone and then put it back together was always a good trick. And so I'm rifling through his porn. He's got a box by the Playboys, and it's got a lock on it. I'm like, oh, what's in this fucking box? So
It's got to be great.
I pick it. I finally get the lock picked. What do I find? Naked pictures of my mother. Now I can't fucking help myself, Ronnie, but I'm looking at the naked pictures of my mother.
Yeah.
Fucking to this day, here I am, 32.
Yeah.
Still can't get it out of my head what I saw. No one knows what took place or that ever found the box, but that was fucked up.
You saw your mom's big 80s muff. She didn't even fucking, wasn't even trimmed up.
Yeah. I gotta go. I can't talk about it.
All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Playboy was unbelievably confusing to a little kid because there would be those pictures of like a naked woman and a guy in a fucking tuxedo. And you're trying to work out in your head, I guess I put on a tux, the woman gets naked, we're married. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's happening here.
These are wedding photos.
The other thing is, I remember once being little and seeing Hefner's house. So I'm seeing like naked pictures. It's like Barbie Benton or some fucking 70s buzz. And then this beautiful house. And I'm like, guys that get fucking pussy have the greatest fucking houses ever. This is the life I want.
It's pretty accurate.
The last thing I want to do is live like my old man. Hand to mouth in this fucking neighborhood. Here's Alan. Alan, you're on Fez.
Hey, great show, guys.
Yeah, it is great.
Hey, we are all, my friends and I, we used to hang out at this, my friend's house. We used to watch his father's porn. No, he ain't going to be home till like 5 o'clock, so by 5 we always made sure we had it off and all this. His father comes home one time, 3:30 in the afternoon, walks in the living room. We're like, oh, shit. He screams from top of his lungs, what the hell are you guys doing watching this shit? Blah, blah, blah. Storms into his bedroom. We're like, oh, fuck, man. Well, turn the video off. He comes back with a box, big moving box, full of porn, throws it on the ground, says, here, if you're going to watch something, at least watch something with some good anal in it, throws in videos, starts watching it with us. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable. Being an adult now, that might have been the coolest thing when you're 11. But what kind of fucking man wants to sit there and watch anal films with little boys?
Porn videos are so traumatic, too, when you're a kid. You don't understand what the fuck. Is it the ass? Is it the pussy? And what the shit is the white stuff that's coming out of them at the end? It's really frightening.
The hair used to freak me out.
Yeah.
Where does this hair come from? What is that all about?
Yeah, the entire thing about a kid, I guess there's no easy way. Because even when, like, you would see those sex education books, it's still a fucking shock to the system. Nothing about it works. Nothing about it is comfortable for a little kid. You just got to work your way through it.
Oh.
It's pretty much like acne. You're going to go through some fucking bad times. All right, here's somebody to back you up, Dave. KP, you're on Run Fez.
Ronnie, I went to grammar school with Eastside Dave at St. Catherine's in Spring Lake. These fucking UFC fights that he's trying to talk about were bitch slap fights. It's a preppy little town that one kid hits the other, a teacher comes out, and everybody runs away. The weapon matches he's talking about are just as fictitious as it can come.
I'll go get my friends on the phone.
You know what? This is a guy who went to your school.
Yeah, but I don't know him.
Catherine's, yeah, he's talking about out where Monsignor Lube King had a sign that...
You got the right name, but what's your name?
KP is his name.
Come on, give me your real name.
No ball playing in the yard.
Dude, I wasn't friends with you. This weapons match happened at my house. I'll get.
Now it's your house. You said it used to take place at your school.
No. I said
this
we
sounds
used
like
to
a
get
touch
wait a
football
second.
game.
We got into fights in my school, but this weapons match took place at my house with a circle of friends. I can call my friends right now. Let me
This circle of friends. Hold on.
And what
Did everyone have their dicks out and seeing who could come first? Because it sounds like you were in a circle jerk, son.
And Officer Preston comes by and everybody runs away. It all ended up with people running
what
away
a
no matter what
pussy
happened.
school.
Pussy?
Yeah.
KP's not even give his real name.
You're going into the
Oh,
big prize
no.
closet, my friend, for exposing the truth.
KP, we'll get you a DVD copy of Scarface, the Platinum Edition that's in stores now, courtesy of Universal Home Entertainment.
Right back, Ron and Fez Show.
Ronnie. Fezzy. The Ron and Fez Show. XM202.